the value on these relocating ganks, whether it's with an IO or with a Nature's Prophet. But there it is. There's the Roger Space Cow. So
that's just too good. I mean, into the Prophet and the Nyx. That's so good. You know, he's vendettaing near some sentries. Let's go. And Nature's Prophet trying to run around the whole map and be generally obnoxious. Let's charge him. Perfect pick here from Empire.
Roger absolutely fearless when it comes to running down a lane after an IO and taunting the entire time, knowing going into certain death. But, you know, space created, right? Puts a lot of resources focusing on him, and the rest of the team, you know, gets a little bit of gold here and there.
Who do we not want for Empire, though? I guess with the Prophet gone, there's not too much global stuff that's popular anymore. I think the Weaver is probably a good ban in this phase. Maybe we'll see Empire also ban out the Drow. Can you imagine Nature's Prophet with Drow lineup? That sounds terrifying.
Sounds disgusting. With a sniper, too, on top of all that. Ugh. Ugh. No. Not like this. But, okay, so the Clockwork does merit itself a ban. That's going to be taken out. I don't think they really need to worry too hard about that. But, I guess they just don't want to see him, you know, throwing out the hook shot and jumping on Nature's Prophet as well with everything else that's already going to be thrown at this poor Prophet.
And take care of that Kuman TA as well. Played it very well last game. I can understand getting rid of that one.
Yeah, he was just melting heroes left and right, too. With the Meld Strike, the Death Cell. Saw a lot of supports getting two-shot. Never a good feeling when you're a support.
I'm kind of feeling the Enigma this game. If we can get him back in the game. I don't know. We even get to see him. Not sure if it's too good quite yet. It'll depend on like the matchups and stuff like that. But already with the position 4 Nyx Assassin, I would consider him to be one of the weaker zoners in terms of like position 4s. Like obviously he can like walk mid and just kind of punch you a bunch and stuff like that. But overall, he's not that scary before level 6 compared to a lot of other heroes. I would even rank like Clockwork a little bit more worrisome in that regard.
Going to see a lot of early aggression coming out of Team Empire here, too, with the Spirit Breaker pickup. Whoever's going mid probably needs some sort of either an escape or has, you know, really good TP support going to be able to get followed up, because I think it's going to make life pretty difficult for Kuman there. Maybe that's kind of their plan, too, on Empire, is, you know, Kuman had a really, you know, pretty good game, so they figure, all right, this is the guy we need to target, this is the guy we need to tilt. Let's throw, you know, a Space Cow just hanging out in mid constantly and forcing TP rotations, interrupting his farm, sort of thing. Although Kuman did not have a great laning stage in the game that we just had, actually, because he was up against the puck. He had to kind of go off into the jungle and take some camps, so...
Yeah, mostly came down to that, like, 12-minute fight or something in the mid lane where they just got this triple kill, and from there they just kind of rolled on.
Well, definitely some momentum-based heroes, too, with the TA. Once she starts racking up some kills, same thing goes with the Ursa Bear. Having those sort of early ganks as well helped out a lot with Always Wanna Fly doing the scouting with the Bane, because he's able to immediately disable, and they get enough time to just sort of TP themselves in.
And the other big hero will probably be the Queen of Pain, and that's just someone who isn't very good against Spirit Breaker. Get run down, very obnoxious to play against. And they'll just ban it anyway. Wow, okay. So there you go. That's pretty much all those heroes of the exact same ideas you were discussing, just getting that momentum forward, trying to carry the game from there. Kind of the classic way that underdog teams tend to win games up against tougher opponents. So we will see the return of the Always Wanna Fly Bane.
So this is a lot of really kind of scary different heroes that are going to be able to set up the relocations coming in, because you've got a Nyx Assassin who can kind of wander himself around a little bit, get the chance to spot out heroes first before, you know, sentry wards hopefully are not placed down. Nature's Prophet can go ahead and teleport in, and also the Bane, like we talked about, being able to, you know, go ahead, throw out some sort of disable so that hero can't get away and they have enough time to get the Nature's Prophet in and maybe followed up with, you know, another hero. But Earthshaker, all right, we're going to see some Snow Globe action.
I like this. I think last time we saw the Earth Spirit, I think after the Bane, just for someone who could give that like longer range to stun people and stuff like that. But the Shaker can kind of do the same thing. Or, oh no, we were just discussing it actually, weren't we? And then we get a support Sven. But anyway, the whole idea of just having like the long range of the Fisher and stuff to try and deal with the Fiend's Grip is very helpful. And once again, you're on Radiant's side, so it's just a very safe pick. Don't have to worry too much about being harassed. And the other beauty of Bane is that we discussed how Nyx Assassin is pretty weak before level 6. You need someone with that setup stun to help him so he can just walk in. It's much like a Sand King and get off that Impale or that Burrow Strike that's super short range, and Nightmare is pretty much the best thing you can ask for that. So they go back for the Ursa. Not too shocking. It was successful. We're going to try and control up Roshkin here from the dire side with the Nature's Prophet. And their mid hero is pretty open for the final pick. Could even be a mid Ursa. So a lot of flexibility depending on what Empire go for here in the 4-5.
I mean, that's kind of the name of the game, is if you have the flexibility to move heroes around, have people kind of guessing about where you're going to be laning, you definitely get a bit of an advantage here. So cards close to the chest here on the side of Gambit. They can definitely go for something different. If they don't want to put that Ursa mid, they do have some movement with that. But Team Empire right now, you know, we've got our Shaker in the off lane, you've got your AA and your Spirit Breaker, so they still need their 2 cores.
I really like the Weaver, I think.
Weaver could be excellent here. Again, they don't have a whole heck of a lot to go ahead and pop a Lincoln's either. And he's going to be able to kind of scoot through. They go for a Phantom Lancer.
Wow.
Right. I was not expecting that. I like it, though, especially because of the Diffusal carry. What are your thoughts on this?
I have not seen Empire play a PL. I'm going to have to look this one up. I don't remember last time. Maybe they've done it recently and I just missed out on it or something like that. But that is intriguing. Definitely something that people have been trying out. But 4 months ago was the last time the squad itself actually played one. And, geez, what was this qualifier for? Oh, here we go. 22 days ago. Oh, no, Pycat was playing it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's been a while. They lost. It was against Wings Gaming. That's how long ago it was,
Oh, wow.
guys. It was at DAC. Sad. Man, rest in peace, Wings Gaming. That's a little depressing to see, but what can you say? It was FN that played it, so... They ban out... Oh, they ban out the Lina. Okay, so they are assuming it is a PL safe lane. I would guess it's still going to be PL mid with the Weaver in the bottom, but I guess that would give Gambit the opportunity to send the Ursa mid, and that would be a little bit worrisome for the PL probably, so... I don't know, that's kind of what makes it such a weird pick for me, is that generally you want this PL mid versus like the Invoker or something like that, who you counter super hard.
I don't know, maybe, you know... Maybe
a
little
just
bit
mid-Weaver.
Flex pick here. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but like we said, cards to chest. They're not going to give away too much here on either side with what they're planning. And the other thing too, you know, we mentioned that, you know, Team Empire, they're working their way towards TI. They're looking for any opportunity to play against other teams, try some different things out. And like we said, you know, it was supposed to be a best of 3 originally. It is a best of 5 because they wanted to have some more playtime, hang out with each other, try different things.
Last game, we talked about the Meepo, and it did get banned. And it was against an Ursa and a TA. There was pretty weak overall AoE. Just like a lot of single target, which is... I mean, Weaver or single target can be very good against Meepo if you can lock them down in time. But we know that despite winning the game, they were lacking pretty heavily in just general lockdown. There weren't a lot of AoE stuns or anything like that, so it would have been difficult for the Ursa or the TA to get that big focus onto the Meepo target. I'm not sure how they would feel about just like opting for it right here. But I'd like to see it.
I mean, definitely.
I'm not gonna lie.
The hype has been real about it.
Man, I still just think Weaver is so good this game. Like, the synergy with Spirit Breaker and Ancient Apparition and Earthshaker, it's just like the chase that you have as Weaver, the lack of control that they have, the Chilling Touch plus Geminate Attack is just disgusting. And you can actually contest someone like Nature's Prophet in lane.
They go for Phantom Assassin. Okay, this is an interesting pickup here.
An Empire classic. It is missing their enabler though. The big thing for them is that whenever they pick this PA, they almost always pick Troll or Magnus or something, and then they're like losing this game at 18 minutes, and suddenly that enabler just comes online. Be it higher levels are in power, or the Troll Warlord is just ready to actually rotate along with the PA, pop that ulti, and just blow people up. So the biggest enabler right now would just be the chasing of the Spirit Breaker as well as the Ancient Apparition with the Ice Blast, but much harder to execute. Interesting to see how they perform, and they will send the Storm Spirit. Ooh. So that would be mid versus the PL. I think that's way better, I would think, for PL than the Ursa.
It's going to be an interesting mid lane going on here with Kuman on that and FN on the Phantom Lancer. Yeah, I'm still... Maybe, again, they're trying out new stuff, I guess, because like the Weaver would have just been like the cherry on top of the sundae here for the side of Empire, but...
I mean, it's still good. It's still a lot of the same reasons we talked about the Meepo or the CK. It's like the general illusion clear, AoE control, trying to find that right target. A lot of the same logic kind of applies to a Meepo as it does to the PL. So FN should have a relatively good time. I like the idea of the Storm Spirit is the one to try and like find this PL, just like zips in, targets, focuses him down, and kind of paints this big target for the rest of the team. Like, this guy, everyone, please kill this dude. Get me that Fiend's Grip going on here.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, Bane kind of struggles a little bit trying to figure out which exactly is the real PL, and you don't want to go and Nightmare the incorrect one. Although he does have other targets. He's got the Phantom Assassin that he can always try to target as well. But, yeah, definitely having that initiation on Kuman, going to be able to zip in. I'm liking it. I'm not sure whose draft I like better, though, here. Got some really scary team fight coming out from the side of Empire. And like some very nice initiation. Same though, you know, coming out from Gambit, they've got great initiation with the Storm Spirit. They don't have a lot of stuff. They've got Fissure sort of thing. They can kind of get the bash off on the Storm Spirit, but
yeah, I kind of like Gambit's draft better. I think it suits their style. It kind of feels just like how they won the last game, and everything on Empire, it doesn't have that same flow. Like, it is very execution heavy with this whole Ice Blast charge. With the PA jumping through, it's like it all has to be synced up kind of perfectly. You know, this isn't just Empower PA or Battle Trance PA. It's much harder to do. Whereas Gambit, I don't know, it's just kind of flowchart Dota. Get a Bloodstone, get an Aegis, win the game.
They definitely had very efficient drafts. I believe, I think all 3 games so far, you've really liked Gambit's drafts that they've been doing. You know, game number 1 was a little bit difficult. They weren't able to execute it as nicely as they did for draft number 2 here. And third time, you know, maybe third time's a charm. Maybe they're going to get another game off. Who knows? We have seen quite some really nice fights, though, coming out from Empire. They've run the Ancient Apparition and the Earthshaker together before with really nice results. Spirit Breaker, of course, Roger, very, very aggressive all the time. They do have a good way to kind of slow him down, though. If he's trying to jump on the Bane, Bane can kind of just throw out the Nightmare sort of thing. And they can get support in very, very quickly with the Nature's Prophet, followed up with the TP2 to turn it around. So very interesting. Looks like just waiting for one more player to pick his hero. But
and we're unpaused. All right.
Here we go. Looks like Cheshire Cat has now entered the arena, so to speak.
Thank goodness. We do need a Cheshire Cat profit. Pretty good here. No Broodmother ban again as well. That was a little bit of a concern, I suppose, but not many people willing to run like any of these. Most of our lanes were already decided. The Earthshaker was early. The Prophet was early. Although Earthshaker in our other game could have been like a core when they banned out that Broodmother before. They were thinking about like a safe lane or a mid shaker. So hopefully somewhere in these last 2 drafts after this, if we go to game 5, I want to see something dirty. I want the Meeple. I want the Arc Lord. And I want the Brood.
I mean, do they pull that out as like the emergency break glass sort of thing?
I don't know. Hope so.
Oh, we're gonna find out, obviously. All right, so in game here. Looks like immediately AA gonna go ahead and TP out, make sure that he can check over on the wording. Here comes the taunts already coming out from Roger. Would expect nothing less from him. I'm just kind of scouting out here. No wards over on this Bane currently. Looks like it's gonna be oh man.
Taunts.
I feel like that's the best way to start tilting people early, is just spam taunts nonstop. Like, who was it the other day for Double Dimension?
Oh.
Was it LeBron? LeBron that just like constantly was doing the Kunkka taunt, and
as well as spamming all chat.
Rajix was just like,
wheels.
I'm gonna stand right here. I'm gonna listen to this music. It's glorious. So
yeah, we had some good games with LeBron, Dota, and the boys. There's a lot of item dropping those games. They're waiting for an adventure into their own zone here, it looks like, or maybe they're gonna go on an adventure into the Radiant side. All right, they're going in. They're gonna have the trees ready. They're gonna be here in time for the bounty rune. Pretty good level 1 here. It is scaled up by Roger.
There's a couple more trees thrown into the mix here. Gonna, you know, strengthen numbers,
too much
right?
Damage, honestly. Like, you can't fight here.
No.
It's ridiculous.
We'll be able to... Oh, man, that feels bad. Foshka tries to throw out a couple hits, but unfortunately just doesn't have damage because he's an AA, and he is level 1.
Yeah, they have 550 HP. These guys are no joke. They have as much HP as AA. He's only got 10 more.
That's actually such a feels bad man moment. when you realize that. What was I playing? I was playing like Crystal Maiden, like at one point, and they're like, "Yeah, the creeps almost out damage you. You know that, right?" And I was like, "Oh."
Ooh, Maposhka, has he found it? He is not sure what's happening. He can't find this ward. He's like, oh, I don't know. I don't think they placed one.
A little bit of aggro action coming out here with dual lanes. Trying to keep Chappie just safe. There are 2 ranged heroes, so it could be a little bit of a problem, but otherwise pretty calm down here for the time being.
I end up leaving it there for now, but hopefully they'll find that ward. This one's been very popular lately on this small camp down here. You can kind of place it up on this little cliff spot, and you have to tango to get it, unless someone's like standing over on the side of the hill to give you vision or something, but it gets a bit difficult. So it is, as expected, the PL versus the Storm Spirit mid. Again, I think it's definitely PL favored. Pretty easy peasy. Got themselves poor man shield, just constantly harassed with the Spirit Lance. He doesn't have any of the best enablers this game in terms of like, there's no IO or there's no Crystal Maiden, but you can already see how much damage he puts out. Scoopman goes for some riskier right clicks here. Make sure he doesn't just lose his straight up salve. Surprised FN's not spamming more of his Spirit Lances, just being very patient and waiting for a Spirit Breaker gank or something.
Already getting bashes down here in the spot lane. Roger saw him going after the Bane a little bit earlier, did get a couple bashes off, getting them off over onto the creeps as well. But nothing too exciting to report down here in the bot lane. Looks like Ghostic, he's trying. Oh, nice stop here coming out from Bigum.
Again.
Cancels
just like with the
out.
Kunkka in game 1, doing the same stuff.
Middle lane looks like Kuman forced back quite a bit here. Like you're saying, this is definitely a PL favored matchup. It's doing a pretty good job though, considering. Looks like Roger though, he's coming in. He wants to go for this. There's going to be immediately the jump forward and maybe one more hit. Roger actually going to be the one to get the cleanup kill. Sitting a little bit low here, but looks like Tower didn't aggro onto him doing all of that. So
Storm was asking for that so hard. That was just ridiculous.
Risky plays.
Sitting there so low, right after the 2-minute mark where no one had gone for the enemy bounty rune as well. So Spirit Breaker like almost always comes up here for this, and that angle is just easy peasy. Leaves you fogged for so long. Kuman will just have to, I guess, maybe accept that as part of the lane. You can't just sit back forever. You'll never get any gold. So as long as PL's still a little bit on the lower end of the levels, like before level 5 or something, when the Spirit Lance goes up another 50 damage, this is still a little bit survivable for him. Maybe after that, he might have to head into the jungle.
Kuman, man, he's got his eyes on the prize here. Maybe just needs like 1 or 2 more hits. Looks like the Destroyant will be enough to keep him alive, though. But risky plays again. It's like a charge coming out down here for Cheshire Cat. He's sitting, he's just gonna go ahead and taunt out. I don't think he realizes the very slow train running for his face here. It's always a good time. So the dagger. In comes Always Wanna Fly. And Roger's gonna cancel out that charge here. I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, as tempting as the value clarity stop is, not really worth it in the end. And he even brought some tangos down to Chappie. Isn't that nice? A little delivery service. No courier required.
That's the best, man, when you can do the Space Cow delivery service. Free up the courier for your mid, too.
And this courier also... Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought maybe he lost an item or something there, but I think Kuman's just getting another salve delivered to somebody to survive through this lane, but Arcane Rune now here on FN. This is where the non-stop spam comes from. 81 mana required. That's 70 less. Pretty brutal. Arcane Runes are something else.
I feel like Roger really wants 40%. This.
Oh, he wants it.
Yeah, he's hanging out over here. He knows that there's an Arcane Rune. He's got a almost full mana PL, but Storm... It's just like, yeah, no. I know that there is going to be a cow moving in my face soon, so I don't want it.
Oh, and it's Mud Golem.
Bottom lane. In comes Cheshire Cat. Oh, Cheshire Cat, he's trying to run himself out. Chappie, they go for this dive. They've got the sleep out, and there's going to be an immediate follow-up coming out here from the Nyx Assassin. Maposhka, he's just too far. He's going to get taken down, and Chappie will just back himself off. There are a couple hits onto the tower. Although, it looks like Roger also going to get stunned up here. They don't really have enough damage, though, to finish up anything else. TP coming out from Furion, though. Oh, man. There's the forward. Dagger comes out here. Chappie trying to just divert their attention, maybe just pull them away. He knows that it's pretty hard to take him down. And so what ended up being a dive over onto our Furion here ends up being a dead Ancient Apparition instead. So nice rotations coming out from these players.
That gives him a little bit of a lead. And Kuman just kind of returns the lane under his own tower, but there's the charge. How far will you push out, Kuman? Are you brave enough for one more wave? Or are you going to live in fear?
I think he's
what
living
are
in fear.
our TP rotations? Bane has no mana. He's walking in, but he has nothing to help with here.
All right, there's the charge. There's the Spirit Lance followed up with the charge and the Kuman. He's trying his best. He does have his level 6. Did have quite a bit of mana here. Will be able to bottle up and get himself out of kind of a sticky predicament. Seeing some nice rune control coming out too on the side of Gambit. Now they're kind of hanging out over there waiting for runes to spawn. Miposhka trying his best. He's sitting, just got his level 3 now. This ward actually going to be able to spot out the observer over here on the side. So easy 100 gold for Miposhka if he goes up the tide. There's going to be the charge forward though over. Oh no, the double damage rune over on Roger. The sleep comes out. AA actually going to be able to try to help him out here. Freeze will come in. Roger, he cuts right through them. Chases after. He really wants this kill over here on the Bane, and he's got double damage. He's got a charge if he wants. One more hit will do it. And he will be able to clean up. The Nyx Assassin makes a rotation, and Miposhka is going to be able to throw out the Chilling Touch. And now Nature's Prophet. Oh, the cold feet coming out.
Oh, that was close.
He's going to be able to take him down, but looks like Kuman is going to be able to go ahead and clean up over onto these two supports. Yeah, although the Phantom Lancer, this is a little bit scary now. Not a lot of mana left though over here onto the Storm Spirit. I think he's just going to walk himself out here, although PA, alright, so everyone wants to get on this action. Chappie taking a little bit of a nap. Is he going to get the neutral denied? Nope, Chappie will be able to get it.
Close, but yeah, they were bigger fans of Chappie that time. Gave him some love still. Gold exchange does favor the Radiant side. Still a slight edge to the Dire, but not a big deal at this point. And that is a nice bit of early change to be slapping on top of Chappie's. He now has his phase boots. Quite a bit of damage added to his dagger harass. And I haven't even looked at Ghostic this game. How's he doing up here? 10-1. Not bad, but they are leaving this Ursa to 100% free farm. Got him out of that middle lane. They kind of threw the Storm in there and sacked him instead. And it's going to be Ursa who is the one to try and like set the whole pace of this game. Probably going to rely on Bignum getting his 6 relatively soon as well if they want to work together and try and get some of these bigger kills.
Definitely seeing him try to be as annoying as possible over here on Ghostic, trying to sap some of that experience as well. Definitely keeps walking over to the side of the jungle. Looks like Bane actually make a rotation, so I'm not sure if we're going to see a Nature's Prophet kind of teleport in as well. Not sure if all... Yeah, it looks like Always Wanna Fly is just going to back himself out here. And Bignum reveals himself.
Ghostic is low. He's out of mana. Oh, I wonder if, it's a very dangerous spot as well, though, like around all these towers and the shrines. Bignum doesn't want to get too risky, plus with the charge to be there. It can be like instantly many heroes on top of you.
Charge comes out, just casually, you know, trying to be annoying over onto Kuman here. There's a hasted Ghostic running. He has absolutely no mana.
Give it to him.
Give him a couple little love hits, you know, like, hi. Remember us, we're here.
I am a hero in this game, eventually.
The boops on the nose.
He really has nothing. That's just the life of an Earthshaker sometimes.
I mean, it's tough if you're not getting a lot of kills early. It's pretty difficult to farm up your Blink Dagger. And he did, I mean, he did pretty well considering he only died once in lane top to the Ursa.
That's not too bad.
It could be much, much worse, so... PA actually making an early rotation here. I hear a charge coming out. Is that going to go on the Bane? Yeah, Always Wanna Fly. Maybe in a little bit of trouble. I don't know how much mana that Ghostic has here. He doesn't quite have enough for a Fisher. Oh, now he does. We'll be able to do an Enchant Totem maybe. He's got the Soul Ring on cooldown. PA jumps forward, Dagger, Blink, dead.
Okay, so
close to that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, this is that talk about the AA. So typically we talk about position 1s that can rotate in the jungle. Instead, that's a little bit riskier for Chappie because he's like go and be aggressive.
Miposhka throws out the cold feet. You're gonna try to just do all the damage they can. Oh no, AA.
Just abusing this poor AA who wants to be left alone in the lane, which you have to do. You can't let him get 6 for free. But like rather than jungling, Chappie's forced to go into the lane, so it's very risky. And again, it's execution heavy where they have to try and find this kill with the PA. She can't just like run to the jungle and have a good time getting gold. So impressive stuff from Empire. Depressing that they lost their AA and they're going to lose the tower too because of it. So it's a nice pickup by Gambit, but you can definitely understand their thought process in terms of these rotations.
Well, I do think it's really, really smart when you have an AA, like you're saying, you know, the fact that you have these very mobile heroes who are going to be able to kind of put a lot of pressure onto him. He's not going to be able to, you know, just freely kind of farm out into different lanes. Although, okay, there's a smoke getting broke over here immediately. Always Wanna Fly. He's trying. He does the brain sap. He does the nightmare. He wants to try to get the denial on himself, but it's not going to be quite quite enough damage. He's going to get taken down. There's a charge coming out here. Oh, jumping forward. There's a nice dash over onto Cheshire Cat. He bashes him out of his own trees. Holy smokes. Now here comes Chappie. He wants to get that final hit, but TP's out. No problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And Bigum. Ooh. On the hunt. Doing some scouting here.
Still 25 more seconds for the next.
Oh, AA.
Oh, Maposhka.
I know, Maposhka.
Like, please, not me. Not again. And he just saw him with this ward, too. Sentry. Oh, he saw the sentry, I think. Yeah, Bignum immediately pinged. Saw it leave his inventory, so he knows not to go over there. And Ghost Six just back to his old shenanigans up here. Gonna get a stack off. Farming up with the soul ring.
Again, closer and closer to that blink dagger, which will be a nice reveal.
Dude, where's the value fisher? Come on, Ghost Stick. Actually, I'm not sure if you can get the value fisher without pulling them out and tanking like even more damage. That's probably why I didn't go for it. But alas, a poor man just trying to farm some creeps. He's very low heading up here as well, which is a little bit scary against his Ursa because he's probably not exactly sure how close he is to blink. But with the casual Morbid Mask, he knows he probably has a little bit of ways to go.
Poor Dog Bear Man having kind of a rough game here, but doing the best he can. Trying to find farm. They do have a nice ward over here that just keeps spotting him out, keeping tabs on, progress, realizing, okay, he's just been kind of free farming those two camps, so we have to be aware that there will be a blink dagger online. In the next couple minutes here, looks like FN getting closer and closer to that diffusal blade. It's got two blades of alacrity.
Time.
Yeah, especially when you're Storm Spirit. Oof.
Yeah.
Another
and
rotation.
they have good stuns to lock him down too, so.
Alright, here comes Chappie. But they do see some Roche
time though. Yeah. So this is all according to plan for Gambit. And if they can take one good fight before the diffusal blade's up, that it's a massive part of this game. Like, it's just absolutely gigantic. Especially if they put this Aegis onto Kuman, which I assume they will. Especially without the Aegis being done for the Ursa.
Yeah, there's a jump forward, throwing out Spirit Lance, but Roche is complete. And this Ursa Bear is ready to party. Does spot out Roger over here onto the side. Is going to be able to land out that stun. Immediately Storm balling himself through. And Cheshire Cat actually going to be able to get that kill. So that's going to be a tier 1 easy for the side of Gambit right now. Lots of nice momentum going their way currently.
Kind of cool that they went with the Aegis on the bear too. I guess just because that way Kuman, like, he doesn't have the mana pool for it to be that crazy where he dives insane distances early on in the game, so maybe it just makes more sense the damage output of the Ursa to them to put him in the riskier situations, just like Kuman play cleanup. I think either's fine. They will get a nice
Maposhka. He tries to throw out the Ice Blast. Does connect over onto Nature's Prophet. It's level 1 though. They just didn't have enough damage on him. And,
that might have been an excessive use of mana. So I'm just gonna say, like, everyone else is like ready to kill AA, and Kuman uses like 60% of his mana pool, doesn't even get the kill. I'm sure he's a little salty. He's like, dude, I'm trying to build a Bloodstone here. Can you leave me this guy?
Mid players, right?
Nah, I tell you.
They wanna ball out of control, especially when you're playing something like a Storm Spirit. They do actually let him try to get the last hit on the tower. Unfortunately, yeah, the frog sound coming out, not quite there. And Bigum gonna be able to just saunter his way out casually while FN comes back to do this wave. Closer and closer to that defusal, but not quite there yet.
Well, he goes for the full of Vlads before the blink dagger as well. How much time is left on the Aegis? 1, 2, 3. 3 full minutes. Interesting. And Cheshire Cat drums the medallion. Is it a good Orchid game? Kind of. Eventual Bloodthorn against the PA. Probably not going to be something that ends up mattering this game, but maybe he has to build the Maelstrom, though. Just help with the general pushing and perhaps helping to spot out the PL could be nice.
Got a double damage on this little bug.
That's a Earthshaker right next to our shrine, guys. Wow, they can't even capitalize on that? That's a little disappointing.
They just wanted him to take a little nap. They know Ghost Stick's been working real hard farming all the livelong day. Looks like we hear a charge coming out. Yeah, they've got their eyes over here onto Chappie. Double damage Nyx.
Oh, they got it.
And there's Kuman who's like, hey, I heard you like killing people and getting gold. Me too.
That Wrath of Nature, though. It does so much damage early on. He did 639... Oh, that must have been across everyone, I suppose. But still. It is a ridiculous amount in the early game.
I love that. Always Want to Fly basically lives in this Radiant jungle right now. Like, I feel like every time I look at him, he's pretty much over on this side of the map, and he's like, yeah, I claim this as my home. But the charge will come out. They do eventually find him. Dunk comes out just for him alone. Charge isn't even really necessary. Ghost Stick will take it happily, and is that the first time we've seen that Blink Dagger?
Yes. He was rotating. They knew that he had it, but...
Poor always want to fly.
So that Wrath of Nature did 369 damage. That's
Wow.
actually so ridiculous when you think about it. Like, that global presence of just the Wrath of Nature, not even the fact that the hero can TP over there. It's so valuable against someone like PA, of course, who just... You know, that's a third of her HP right now, and a lot of her survivability relies on this physical aspect, the blur, and then general armor and stuff, and agi items, but... Sad life. There's our Blink Dagger.
Oh, that's actually going to be a huge reveal here. I mean, anytime we get a Blink Dagger, honestly. I keep saying that. I actually got flamed by, I think it was a British caster at one point who's like, man, Americans, you just use the same words over and over and over. So I need to dig out my SAT words book, obviously, so I can start saying things like, that's going to be a magnificent reveal, I guess.
Oh, excellent.
Thinking.
Fabulous.
I'm working on it. Get some colorful language
I don't know anymore. That's as far as I can get. Sorry, guys. Immediate TV top from Roger. What's his plan? Wants a different angle on something.
Yeah, they don't have smoke or anything currently. Maybe they're just trying to keep this PA safe as she does her farming. She's really close to this death zone, too. We'll just get the denial off over onto the tower instead, though. Vendetta Nixie's working real hard. Is going to be having that Blink Dagger as well. So positioning is going to be king this game, as per usual, honestly. But the Ags PL is going to be online soon. There's a charge forward. The Blink, though. Oh, they know he's got Blink. Roger. It's like, I don't know. Oh, they have the sentry. There's a jump forward. Oh, they got the Spike Carapace off. Maybe just in time, but Dagger coming in. Cold Feet, all the slow. And the Wrath of Nature as well. There was no way that Bigum was going to make it out there. Value sentry here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty common ward spot as well, so, you know, paths for the Nyx, aggressive wards.
There goes the Aegis, though.
And this is the hard time, because this is where Empire, they just want to pick up this Aghanim Scepter on the PL and then find some fights and find some farm. Like, you farm so disgustingly fast with this Aghanim Scepter, it is just stupid. It is an item that is, like, kind of like the Marana Aghanim Scepter, where we saw some players trying to build it right away for, like, the Midas value, in a sense, where it's this item that accelerates your farm like crazy, too, but... in some games, it just became too risky, and teams were losing basically because they weren't building that earlier item. And we saw people try it with PL too, but for the most part, everyone just kind of buys the defusal first. Of course, it also helps you farm quicker. It helps you fight so much better as the hero. It's like the iconic item on the guy, but once you have the two in combination, it is just, it's filthy. I mean, I thought this Eggs was like mediocre until I realized that the description meant that it hits every unit. It's not just heroes. You know, you throw a single creep wave, you get all these illusions. Great.
Got the smoke up and running over here. Sitting on low ground though, Maposhka wants to go forward, it looks like. We'll throw a ward down. They'll see that coming. Oh, the dunk comes in immediately. Over onto the camp. Tappy jumps in. They'll get an ice blast off as well. Blink forward coming out here. They don't want to dive that tier 2. They're pretty satisfied with what they just got. Always want to fly. Oh, they grab Roger at the last second with a nightmare. Fiend's Grip comes out over onto Chappy, but they cancel it out over on the side as well. Ghosting, he's going to try to TP himself out. Will he make it? Oh, he's just barely going to get out. Charge coming out over onto the side, onto this Nature's Prophet. This bear, though, he blinks forward. He's got his eyes over onto Maposhka. Kuman going to be able to come forward as well. Electric Work just cleaning up left and right. Zip, zap all over the place. Chappy, now he's going to get pulled back in. And that's a triple kill on a New Storm with a Bloodstone. Oh, man. All right, so that's quite the cleanup there. My goodness.
Yeah, that was pretty good, I'd say. They did all right. Man, Ursa just throwing up 3,270 damage that fight. He did more damage than the entire Radiant team there. That was so weird. Big just like walks into this Radiant Sentry, and they don't initiate on him because, you know, there's other pressing matters. And he's able to just walk around and then find himself a perfect stun. He's saving the PA the entire time. And every time PL tries to focus someone, they were just TPing away. So, yeah, 12 Bloodstone charges here for Kuman. He's built himself back up after that one. Oh, look, it's Light of Heaven, pinging the shrine.
It reminds me, I've got a friend that I play PUBG with, and every time the plane goes overhead, she's like, guys, what's that? We're like, it's a plane. It's a plane. Every single time. That's what the pinging of the shrine reminds me.
there's a couple guys who I play with who go, car, there's a car, and then you just hear the rumble, that's the plane. Everybody just chill out. Everything's fine.
My other favorite is we have a lot of people who are like, oh, there's a car over here. And I'm like, all right, a vroom vroom or a KAR? So
yes,
now regular
vroom.
vehicles are now called vroom vrooms because otherwise we're all like the gun or, and again, always want to fly, just living in this jungle over here. Doesn't even have wards. I'm not really sure what he's doing. Maybe trying to set up for some sort of relocate gang with the Nature's Prophet, but
oh, they just committed a lot to try and kill that storm too. They had like the charge coming across the map. There was a ward here though. And then they had the Earthshaker nearby with the Blink Dagger. PA even threw a TP up there, so Storm just got a mega value play. And yeah, I always want to fly is living the life once again. Just like, haha, someone will surely come down here, and then my Storm will zip and kill you. My Prophet TP's in.
I mean, that's what you hope as a support, right? You hope that they're actually going to show up and not continue farming. I don't know, I feel like I always have bad luck with that kind of thing. I've had times where I've run past my core yelling, save me. They're farming, you know, the ancients, and they're like, what do you want? And I'm like, I'm dead. They're literally next to you. And like, they killed them in 2 hits, but, you know, I just, you know, ran past them as Crystal Maiden, no less. Very, very slow.
They should keep you alive, you know. You're valuable with that aura.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I get spam ping, like, where's my aura? Where's my aura? And I'm like, I'm dead. Leave me alone.
Well, again, Cheshire Cat gonna make his great escape back to the fountain. And it's all just clocking out, waiting for the Aegis. We'll probably see some treants make their way into the pit relatively soon here. So that's Gambit can keep their eye on that. And this has got to be a Storm Aegis, though. Moving into the Orchid very soon. Everything's going to line up very well for them. The big concern will still be this Aghanim Scepter, which is done for FN now.
All right, so on to the next item. The pretty normal Manta style here for FN, definitely. But yeah, that Ags is going to be pretty interesting. Uh-oh, we have another pause. I hope we don't lose all of one team again, like we did in the last game. A lot of pings coming out over onto Always Want to Fly, though.
Someone kill this stupid Bane. It's such a weird hero to do this with, too. I mean, it makes sense because, like, the long stun, it's, like, just a totally different thing. Like, for the most part, the hero that does this is Keeper of the Light, Shadow Shaman, or Dazzle. These heroes that can just spam the wave over and over, they get a lot of gold, and they're just not worth it because they have some weird escape mechanisms like Shallow Grave TP or, like, Blinding Light TP, and just dumb stuff that just wastes your time. Hex TP. So you don't want to like try and commit on this guy unless you have like really good initiation or something like that. But Bane, he doesn't even have wave clear. He's just like sitting in the wave, either like right clicking it a couple times or he just hides in the trees hoping someone's gonna come and hit it.
Very patient little nightmare machine down here, though. Definitely. Usually when I see stuff like this happening on my games, we basically just call it, I guess it's called Bailando Sorucho if you are a Spanish speaker, where it's basically, well, I used to cast for a Mexican amateur team, and they taught me a bunch of, like, Spanish memes, which was super fun. I asked them what Bailando Sorucho actually meant, and they showed me...
It sounds like bystander.
Yeah, it does a little bit, actually. It links to, like, a video of a dog dancing on its hind legs. So I was very confused, but it's basically like when you're just kind of like derp, 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 doing your own thing, like for no reason, having a good time. Obviously, you know, this Bane down here in the bot lane obviously has some sort of agenda. He's looking for anyone to kind of show up, and it looks like the side of Empire doesn't want to take that bait. But yeah, that's usually what we call that in my games anyways. So there you go. You learned some new Spanish today, Trent.
I have learned. This is great. I don't know any Spanish.
Really?
Although it sounds a lot like French, so sometimes you'll know it.
It's a little similar. Romance languages, you know.
Why is it stuck on... Is yours stuck on one game is unpausing?
Yep.
All right.
I think because they canceled out.
How dare they? Well,
I'm not sure what even's happening right now. Who's got connection issues or what? But all right, looks like we're good to go.
Everything's okay. All right, so Big Num was pinging. PL is missing, so I think he knows he's around here somewhere.
The sentry spots him out over here on the side.
And there she is, the Aghanim Scepter. Look at those things.
Chappie, Chappie, immediately Mana Bird. There's going to be the stun up as well. The charge coming in, though, and there's the Storm Spirit. He wants his eyes on the prize. Immediately stunned up, though, coming out from Ghosting. There's going to be a nice dunk, but unfortunately he's going to get nightmared out. And it looks like the side of the Dire. Oh, man, Roger. Ooh, that's a little bit scary. He's going to back himself off from that charge.
My God, that is so insane. It did so well. First off, the ball lightning did 452 damage, so that was pretty goddamn sick. And then the Wrath of Nature did 531. That spell is
broken?
Something else.
Super good.
It's a little broken. I don't know.
This global presence.
Like it does a lot for you.
Global presence is doing quite a bit here, definitely with Cheshire Cat on this Nature's Prophet. That poor PA, I don't think had any idea what was just about to happen to her, because I definitely, you know, the storm was quite a ways out, but with those Bloodstone charges, he's just able to just charge himself right in. They do spot Roger over here onto the side, Whirling Vortex coming in here, and, yep, that's a happy bear right there. And into the Roach Pit they go. It's back up and running. They're able to use those tree ends. And
it's the dream. They're doing it. Yeah. It's the Cheese Roach.
They've got Ice Blast.
According to plan.
But it's only level 1. If anything, it's just going to maybe give him a little fright here. But they do spot the Bane. Always want to fly. He throws himself into the sleep, but he's going to be able to just get obliterated here. Vigum turns around. There's no... Roshan. No mana left over here onto this PL. He's going to try to TP himself out, but... oh, come on. He was just so close. Maposhka's going to get taken down as well. And Gambit, you know, they're doing it. They are doing it right now.
Empire. They have not been able to enable Chappie at all this game. He is just getting stunned up, trying to get into that BKB, but the whole, like, the idea of PA just getting this Deso, and much like when a Storm Spirit gets a Bloodstone, you just need, like, a little bit of help, but then you grab a couple kills, and that puts you into your next big item, and then you, like, yeah, at least Bloodstone helps you farm faster, too, but PA, even if you get the first couple of kills, and you start getting some gold, if you don't get into that BKB, it's a long road, and you get stuck along the way, and the game gets very difficult. So even once she has that, there's still Fiend's Grip to worry about. There's still the Ursa, who's a bit of an issue here. Of course, you know, better than most heroes, being a PA at the very least, but there are certainly still some damage considerations here.
It's like a little bit of a grouping up here. They want to go for the top tower. It looks like they're not too concerned about trying to defend this, because they do have the Earthshaker and, of course, the PL just kind of going back to farming, doing their thing. The rest of the team sitting on the high ground and base right here, so... Dunk is back up and ready, though. So is Ice Blast.
Yeah, it's time for Ghostic to make the plays this game. This is your moment, you know? You've gotten to this point where you have the opportunity to make something happen.
How do you kill the Storm? He's got an Aegis, he's got 15 Bloodstone charges, he's got Cheese on top of it, like... Yeah, here he goes. He just zips himself right in, zips himself back out.
Oh, it's Bignum. He's trying to find the smart play, too, hoping someone will show up down bottom and the two of them together can kill him, but doesn't look like it's going to work.
Some more taunts coming out from Cheshire Cat as well. They just took the top tier 2 and backed themselves out. No pressure on them
would
right
be
now.
Really nice, though. Might get some shrines.
Closer and closer to this BKB, too. Charge comes out over here.
Dude, this is working, actually.
Prophet.
They are baiting him, but they need more TP down to the shrine, like, right away.
Oh, the Spike here, he jumps in the way so he can't complete it. They know there's a Nyx here, though. Will be able to blink himself out. They did dust him. Will turn around, tries to take out as much mana with the mana burn as possible. Nice Fissure coming out. In comes Chappie. He's throwing out the dagger. There's going to be Spike Carapace coming in, but there's a follow-up coming out here from Always Want to Fly. Nice Dome coming out over onto the side, but the Ice Blast comes in. Not going to connect. Really just kind of nicks over onto Always Want to Fly. Ghostic, he's hiding out in the trees against Spike Carapace. There's the Fiend's Grip coming out. This is looking mighty scary now for Ghostic, and Kuman comes in. He's like, all right, more Bloodstone charges, thanks fam.
Was that a Echo Slam? Maybe he got a little bit of the damage on there, but it's certainly not impactful, and that's gone. That's no high ground defense. That is everything run into that bottom base.
It looked like it clipped over onto the heroes, but I guess maybe not.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a damage clip, but it certainly wasn't, you know...
Not the maximum.
There wasn't anything there.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything with the cooldown. It's rough.
All right, so Cheese actually got devoured by Storm Spirit, it looks like. Not in his inventory any longer. You have the Aegis still up and running as well. This is, you know, this is pretty big for them. They don't have the Echo Slam, so they could try to go high ground here, try to get a tower, take out the shrines like you mentioned earlier.
And Cheshire Cat's ready. They're getting this double pressure in on the lanes. Kind of the perfect scenario. There is no real spell push threat in the top currently. And all they have to do now is hope for someone to walk out a bit too far. They have a sentry down too, so they know there's nothing kind of scouting out in this area. It means if anyone comes to try and push this one wave, they will be dead. But with the Ursa showing, that's not going to end up happening anyway. How much time do we have left? 1 minute. It's a little tough here but you really want to go with this Aegis. You're going to be very disappointed if they don't find the moment.
I mean, Ghostic, he's got a TP on him, but he's not currently with the team, so if they could get a jump.
Yeah, there was the BKB. That's what it was. We're waiting for that on the Storm Spirit. So that's pretty much as good as an Aegis, honestly. That's kind of fine. In fact, it's better. So I'm okay with this.
Oh, Big Om is moving himself over here onto the side.
Oh, if he finds Ghostic.
This is going to be a very sad dog bear, man. Looks like ships passing in the night. No, he must have hurt. Yeah, there's the high ground. He spots him over here, over onto the side. He's getting very, very patient. Looking to go for the pick. There it is. He's going to be able to go ahead, throw out the totems. It's just a little bit too late over onto the Carapace, but Kuman, he's forward. He wants to get this. He wants to take out the Earthshaker, blink forward. He's going to try to TP himself out. They don't have anything to stop him. He's just peace out, Cub Scout.
Whew, that would have been a potential GG there. There was no buyback. He was dead for 50 seconds. And with the BKB, maybe not GG, but they could have easily gotten like this whole realm of control back on the map without too much fear. Right now, they're going to smoke up.
Here goes the Aegis.
BKB thrown on in the TP scroll as well.
This is looking like a big group up here. Going to be approaching from the low ground. PA, Chappie. Oh, they spot him out. They always want to fly. They want to jump on him. Nice team spin coming in, though. BKB comes out as well. They push out. Ghostic is going to get taken down, though. It looks like Chappie's trying to run out. Roger trying to make as much chaos in the meantime, but still going to be able to take him down. And Ice Blast comes in, connects on a couple heroes. They're not really quite low enough to get the Shatter effect. And that's a triple kill. This Storm Spirit is officially a problem with 21 Bloodstone charges. BKB's down, but also 4 of the heroes on the side of the Radiant are also down, so... This is the time. Time to push.
This is the prime example of flowchart. Like, literally everything that we said during the draft they need to do happened. It was the identical plan. The play came perfectly together for them, and a lot of that just comes down to it being such a tried and true strategy. Like, there's so many natural combinations here. The Storm Spirit, the Ursa, the similar timings, the ease of control over Roshan with Nature's Prophet and Ursa and giving that into your Storm Spirit. It's certainly not GG right now, but things look great for them. I like the way they're backing here right now as well.
Roger has no fear. He is not concerned about this. Fissure comes in as well. We'll be able to get a Spirit Lance off. He's still giving chase to the Storm. Storm has enough mana, though. He's got loads of charges. He's going to go ahead, TP himself home. In the meanwhile, Chappie actually going to clean up on over. Always want to fly. Does have that BKB, though, and that was his 10-second BKB he popped for that. Did ensure that he got a kill, though.
Yeah. Did pull the PA away from the fight too, just so everyone else escaped. So I'm sure both of them are just kind of like, we'll take it. Oh, that charge though. Being a risky player.
He's out. Look at all these trees. This legion of trees just running through. Take down the ward as well.
Yeah, he actually managed to sneak the deny in there from Roger too. Won't take my gold. So now, yeah, we do it again, guys. Dota 2, the video game. 1 minute left until the potential Aegis spawn.
It's a nice regen run for Kuman here.
Yeah, I like to see them go up into the shrine too. If you can get good positioning on it with some forward vision, it's a relatively easy fight, I think, with all the mobility that they have from the Storm Spirit. But fighting in any sort of confined area can be a bit risky, of course, with the Ancient Apparitions. So the Treant army shall make its way there, but look at that PL eggs go.
They do have eyes over here, over on the Big One, but immediately the jump forward from the Storm Spirit, they just take out Earthshaker. They say there's not going to be any more Echo Slams for you right now. BKB gets popped over here, but they still manage to grab with the Fiend's Grip. This is looking really scary. Just all these little clicks here and there, and he's going to be able to go ahead, blink himself out. Still coming forward, though. BKB is down. Oh, and there goes Chappie. All right. That's going to be...
Got melee
racks, and are they going to go for towers as well? Are they going to split it up a little? Yeah, it looks like they're going to send the Treants over here. Look at this little legion, this army of Treants over in the top lane, and then everyone else just focusing over on the mid racks. Gambit's doing it, guys.
The upset Dota, another tier 3, another rack potentially. Shaker, just such great focus on it for Shaker too. You know, very frustrating to play this kind of a hero when you're someone like Ghostic in a game like this. Obviously, very skilled player.
The dive forward. Silence gets throws out over onto Moposhka. Moposhka, that is a melted ice cream cone here. And they pop the drums over here, but it looks like Kuman, he's a little bit low on that mana, doesn't have anything left. Casual boop coming out from Roger, but that's about all he can do against the Storm Spirit right now.
Double Phantom strat not coming through. Lancers and Assassins not working too well together. You know, one's really aggressive, one's sneaky. That must be the problem. That's what it is. But we do have our Mjolnir done. Cheshire Cat does a ridiculous amount of damage. Good item up against the PL and all his little buddies. Agnes is also done for the next assassin now too, as well as the Storm Spirit. So, not too often we get to see this one, but definitely a fun one.
I was concerned that they were going to smoke right on top of that ward. Did that ward actually? Yeah, I think it did have a little bit of vision over there. So, Storm Spirit gonna run himself back here. Doesn't want to have to deal with this. And there's Always Want to Fly kind of backing him up with the Ursa as well. So, looks like they're going to move themselves forward. They did throw up a ward. They do have vision. Always Want to Fly, though. I think he's toast. Yeah, immediately Storm's going to re-engage, though. Oh, he's grabbing two different heroes. Almost the PKB comes out as well here. Cheshire Cat, he's TP'd in already. This Mjolnir just doing a lot of work over here on some side. Spike Carapace plus the Nyx Axe is just doing so much. Roger runs back in. He's just trying to make some more space for Chappie, trying to create a little bit more craziness. There's a dunk in the back end as well here, but looks like the stun's going to come out. They will be able to take down... Oh, they called a GG after that fight.
Yeah,
holy smokes.
I don't have a lot of faith in the PA without those enablers. I can understand how Spirit Breaker and the AA are supposed to work, but it's just so difficult to do, and they could not find it. Magnus and Troll just make the hero so much better for Empire, and they've done so well with the past before, but it wasn't quite able to find. I did like the PL. Thought it was pretty good this game. Gave him a good lane. I guess Gambit kind of gave it to him in the sense that they picked the Storm Spirit after, but they knew that he could just fall back to the jungle. Classic Storm Spirit, and Kuman just, again, dominates on the TA. Certainly showing off the pub star mentality here in his last two games, and Gambit have themselves a shocking 2-1 lead in the best of 5.
This is so exciting. I wasn't expecting, a lot of people came in here. Empire, obviously the favorites, but Gambit really, showing very smart drafting coming out here and some nice execution. So interested to see what we're going to see for bans coming out for next game. But game number 4 coming up here, guys, for best of 5 series. So stick around.